Hey Finxters, what's up? It's Chris, founder of Finxter.com, and in today's video I want to welcome our new Finxter Freelancer student, Alex. So welcome Alex to the Freelancer course, great to have you on board. I appreciate you joining the course, I think you made a great decision. Why is that? Why do I think you made a great decision? In this video I'm going to address the main reason why I'm so excited about the freelancing opportunity. So, if you look at the freelancing market, how it has developed over time, you cannot go further than to look at the largest freelancing platform on the planet, right? And this is Upwork. And in my opinion, we have two basic online freelancing platforms, which is Upwork and Fiverr. And those basically broker the organization of the world's talents in the new and emerging freelancing landscape, where they have a unique value proposition. Why? Because they offer two type of services. They connect, first of all, they connect clients with freelancers, right? So on the one side of the equation, you have clients such as businesses, but also individuals who want to get some services done. And this can be it can be a big corporation like Microsoft, who has started to hire tens of thousands of freelancers for their business. Like this part of a business strategy is a big business. One of the biggest businesses in the world now starts to hiring freelancers on Upwork, right? So, and then on the other hand, you have clients such as like one-person startups, or that hire freelancers for their business because they don't have all the know-how in-house, right? And they actually cannot put, for example, a lawyer on payroll 24/7, like the whole 36 days in the year, but they just hire a lawyer if they need a lawyer, right? They wouldn't hire, they wouldn't put a lawyer on their payroll. That's why they hire freelancers on demand. And then you also have private individuals, right, that need to get some stuff done. For example, say you have you want to create an app for your mother, kind of where she can track, I don't know, whether there's a burglar alarm in her house or something like that. Yeah, okay, so you can, for those kind of services, you may still hire freelancers to get this done, right? And you would hire them via Upwork or Fiverr. And then on the other hand, you have all the freelancers, all the talent that is there that can offer their skills now in a globalized fashion. They are not dependent on one single company anymore. They are just dependent on the existence of at least one company that hires them, right? So if there's one company like Microsoft that eats the world, all other companies go bankrupt, then this company would still hire freelancers, right? So as a freelancer, you would still have business. But if you are an employee of, say, an XYZ company that gets eaten by Microsoft, Google, big tech, something like this, yeah, then you would just lose your job because your company loses, so you lose as well. You are in the sinking ship, and as an employee, but as a freelancer, you just need to connect to the demand. You can connect to the demand via freelancing platforms such as Upwork and Fiverr. And so if you check out the growth of those companies, so Upwork is the biggest freelancing market place in terms of cross-service volume. What is cross-service volume? It is the volume generated, the sales volumes generated on the platform, right? This is on a marketplace like this, say on Amazon, the cross-service volume would be just adding together all products sold on the marketplace in a given year. And this is the key metric it was a key metric for Amazon, and it is the key metric for Upwork. And in Upwork, the cross-service volume currently is about, I have to actually check this out. Cross-service volume is, no, it's not here. Cross-service marketplace revenue, GSV. It is here. Okay, here we have cross-service volume, and the cross-service volume actually grew by more than 20%. It was in 2020. It was 2.5 billion. Okay, so this is billion only. Billion, it's a tiny fraction of the opportunity. So we have 2.5 billion is the cross-service volume. And if you look at the numbers actually I've prepared. So this blue bar is a 2.5 billion cross-service volume number from Upwork. So what is the total addressable market? Right, so Upwork is a fast-growing company. I mean, you have to give me that, right? Upwork grows by between 20 to 50% per year. So it's a fast-growing company. And for fast growth companies, you need to look at the total addressable market. I mean, what is the space they grow into, right? So what is the upper limit of size this company can grow into, right? I mean, if it keeps growing at 20% per year, sometimes if the market you grow into is really limited, is really small, then you have an upper ceiling. So what is the upper ceiling for Upwork or Fiverr? These fast growth big companies that are but still pretty small compared to what they can be. And actually, like Upwork is below $10 billion dollar market cap company, so it's still very a small, very very small, tiny company compared to companies such as Google, for example, which is a $1 trillion company. So or $2 trillion company, I think. Yeah, so you look at this blue bar, which is the Upwork cross-service volume, and you compare it to the current freelancing revenue opportunity, which is more than $1 trillion US dollars. So this is almost 100 times almost 1,000 times. So sorry about that. So this is a logarithmic scale. So it's almost 1,000 times the size, the current size of Upwork. So there is a 1,000x opportunity, and this is still conservative as to use as a TAM, total addressable market. Why? Because it is calculated based on this figure. So they assume we have 225 million freelancers, which is currently the estimated global number of remote workers, right? So this is the current number of remote workers. We have 225 million, and for each of them we assume we can generate $5,850 in cross-service volume for our platform. So we don't assume that those people are work full-time on Upwork or something like that. We just assume that they generate $5,000 per year in income in a given year, right? So this is it could be 10x that number, and it could be 10x that number, right? So why is that? So we can have 100x this type of upper bound. We could assume 100x this TAM. So, but if we just if we assume that 2 billion people generated 100% of their income via freelancing. I mean, I think at one point in time it will be those numbers. So we have inflation, so generating $50,000 in revenue. I mean, it will become more and more likely the longer time durations we look at, right? Because of inflation, and then we have because we have rapid inflation currently, right? So we have more than say 4% inflation or so, or 3% or 2%. What they make us believe, we have much higher asset inflation because the money supply increases by 10 to 15% per year. So it can it doubles. The money supply doubles in a couple of years, say in 4 or 5 years, which means that we have rapid inflation, right? So I mean, you should consider this at the dollar amount becomes larger and larger, of course. And then we also have growing number of people in the world, and we have a growing importance of freelancing, relatively speaking. So you already see Upwork is growing 20-30%, even sometimes 40% per year in terms of revenue, and freelancing, relatively speaking, becomes more and more important. This is because of the increased flexibility it offers for companies such as Microsoft. This is because for small businesses it's just not possible to have employees for each and every business function they need to get solved. So of course they would rather hire a freelancer than hire a full-time employee. And then this is also because of just globalization and the tech industry increasing in efficiency. So for example, we have Zoom. Now we can perform many business functions via Zoom meetings remotely, and we don't have to do those we don't have to actually ship the employees to our headquarters, yeah, and then just all employees have to like do the commute day after day after day. So and spend like heavy amounts of resources, money, and environmental energy, environmental costs on just like brokering the physical distance between the employees and the employer. So the benefits are huge, and they are increasing over time with increased digitization. And then companies, I mean, more and more companies like Finxter will actually be completely remotely. So we still hire people, but all over the world. We are like location independent, and those companies, of course, will use heavily freelancers for to work, right? So the opportunity is massive. It's like 1000x opportunity from here. And of course, if you are a freelancer, I mean, I can show you other statistics. For example, this is the global labor market. It's even larger, 3.5 trillion. Now let's look at the global labor market. Is it all services? No, it's not all services in the labor market. So we have like this is a share of economic sectors in the global GDP from 2009 to 2019, and you see like 63% in 2009 was services, and you see the fraction of services just increases over time. It is now 65% services. And services, especially remote services, will probably be brokered via any type of freelancing platforms in the future, right? Because I mean, you can broker the services. You don't necessarily need a freelancing platform, but you need to have trust. If you have remote service, you need to solve the trust problem, and those platforms such as Upwork and Fiverr solve the trust problem. And this is like the second point. Initially, I mentioned there are 2 points, 2 basic value propositions freelancing platforms offer. And you see like agriculture, of course, it goes back, and also industry revenue in black. The black bar also reduces over time. So services is a big thing, right? Services increases over time. And so we have all these trends. We have digitization. We have services increasing as a percentage in percentage terms. We have freelancing increases as in a percentage basis over time. We have platforms such as Upwork and Fiverr who become more efficient the more people are on those platforms. They have network effects, right? So we have like constant costs to develop those platforms and to host those platforms. And then we have if we would almost have the same costs if we had 1 million freelancers on the platform than we would have if we have 10 million freelancers on the platform, right? So we have a 10x of the freelancers on the platform, but we don't have 10x the costs, right? So they scale very nicely because they are platforms. They are big platforms like Upwork and Fiverr. They are technical digital platforms, digital services. They usually scale nicely, so we have reduced over time the costs of hosting those platforms will reduce and reduce over time, and which makes it even more attractive to broker your work through those platforms that offer the services such as trust and actually the matching as well, the matching service, so finding the right freelancer for the right gig. So those platforms, in my opinion, they make the world a better place. They make the brokering of talents much more efficient, which means that we have less frictional costs in our society, in our economy. We don't have to move the people from A to B. We don't have to force employees to work for a single company and own 100% of the time share of a given employee. We can like slice the time of a worker, of a knowledge worker like you, and by slicing the time, and then we can like sell the slices of time to the highest bidder, which makes it like much more efficient. We don't lock talents in anymore. So because talents now can just open up their talent, open up their knowledge to all kinds of companies who can then hire them and tap into those talents. So it's a win-win opportunity. It's a win for the world. It's a win for freelancers who can now who earn higher hourly rates and sell their services to multiple companies and don't depend on one single company anymore. And it's a win for the companies as well, who have more access to the world's talents and more flexibility and more skill, in-house skill. And the total addressable market is like still the opportunity is 1000x. So if you become a freelancer now, you will be in a growing field for decades. This is my prediction. So if you commit to being a freelancer, you will have you will have the benefit of being in a space that grows double-digit percent in percentage terms year after year after year after year. And this is like a very positive environment for you to be in. I mean, you don't want to be in an industry that shrinks, right? But many industries, for example, being employed, just all things being equal, being employed is an industry that shrinks over time. But being a freelancer is an industry that grows over time. Then of course you can be employed in an industry like coding that on a percentage basis increases over time because of the coding, not because of the being employed feature, right? So of course, but so if you layer those trends and those features, and you want to like layer as many growing features as possible over each other, right? So for example, you want to be a freelancer who is in a growing industry, for example, coding, blockchain development or something like this. Yeah, so because the more you layer those trends, the higher the growth will be, and with the growing tide, all ships actually rise, and which means that your life will become easier and easier. And the trust you build now, the ratings you build now on those freelancing platforms, and the testimonials and the skills you build. For example, the skills are really important these days. It's a lot about the skills, and not about the certificates. It doesn't matter if you have a university degree. It's just about having the skills, because if you have the skill, you get good ratings, which means that you get more work, you get more share of the global revenue, which means that your success increases over time, right? But it's only about the skill. It's not about the certificates anymore. So if you can decide between choosing skills or choosing a certificate at the cost of skills, and of course choose the skills. Previously, this was not true, right? For in other industries, for example, you would just choose a certificate, because if you had the certificate, you knew that you would always get work. But now you should choose the skills, because skills dominate in terms of importance in the freelancing industry. And the freelancing industry is exploding. We still have 1000x growth in front of us if you just focus on one platform such as Upwork or Fiverr. I don't think you can do a lot wrong. I mean, it's just such a great opportunity. Okay, thanks Alex for joining the course, and see you in the course. Bye.